Hello data friends, Matthew here from Wolfman Analytics, and this video is around data modeling, specifically around setting up a test SQL database locally on your workstation, just for playing around, doing stuff, just practicing general kind of whatever you want to get up to in Power BI. You've got some new skills that you want to test out, or you've got something that you can't quite use at work, or you just want to do some training at home. Any number of reasons why you might want to set up a local database to do some Power BI training. So I found something really cool on a website called SQLBI.com. And we'll go over to my screen in a second, and I'll show you how to find the database and how to restore the backup version to your local SSMS SQL Server Management Studio local host instance. So we'll get into that in a second. One thing that I really like about this database is the simplicity of it, but the diversity of data that comes inside the database, and there's enough, it's simple enough just so you can quickly kind of navigate your way, set it up, navigate your way around it, and you kind of just get it as soon as you see it. Really, it's basic sales information against products and customers, which is really cool. It allows you to do test out most things, especially if you're just getting started with your Power BI training, or you're starting to understand DAX and you want to experiment with different functions, different kind of ways of modeling data in DAX or in Power Query, then it's really good base to start that training from. So let's jump over to my screen and I'll show you where to get the files from and how to set it up. So if you come to SQLBI.com and we want to navigate to Tools, go down to Contoso Data Generator, and let's go to click on this button here, Get from GitHub. So there are two types of way you can generate the database. The first is pre-built backup files. So you can download a .bak file, which we will upload into SSMS shortly, and then the accompanying files which have got all the data in for these databases. But you can also download a Contoso data generator from this site. Now this is something for another video. I have downloaded the data generator. Still allows you to set up the database in the same table configuration, but you can change variables on fluctuations in sales, in month, the types of products that are being sold, there are where you can adjust the peaks and troughs throughout the year. So you can tailor it more to your needs really with the data generator, but it is a little bit more complex in setting up the files to generate the information and doing all of that configuration. But the principle of uploading it into SSMS is the same. So if we start with the pre-built files, and then we'll finish this video once we've uploaded the pre-built database loaded the backup files into SSMS, and then we'll come back and do a Contoso data generator video another time. So back to my screen. So we are going to click on this release 1.0.0.0 button here, And here you can have a read of that if you want to do so. But as we scroll down, there are two files which are after. You can see there's a series of files here. So these ones, the pre-built files, range from 10k, which is around 10,000 records, sales records in there, and then it goes up to 100k, a million, 10 million, and then there's some really big files in here where it goes up to 100 million, and they are downloadable in more than one file. They get quite large after this. We're talking gigabytes of information. For the purposes of this video, purposes of speed, we're going to download the 10k backup file. So there are two files on here that we want to grab. There's the Contoso 10k backup file, but then we also want to download the zip file that's got the actual data in. So the back files, so this will be the table configuration, all the configuration files, and the 10k file .zip will contain all of our data. So let's download both of these. So 10k back, that started downloading, and let's also grab the 10k zip. Okay, these files have downloaded, so I'm just going to open the folder. I'm going to take a copy of these files. I'm going to put them in a temp folder on my C drive. Okay. There was already an existing folder in this temporary folder I've got on my C drive. So this Contoso dataset folder already existed. The two files I've just downloaded are the Contoso 10k.back and the db.contoso.10k zip. So I'm going to open the zip file. I'm going to take a copy of these two files. I'm going to extract them into our zip folder on here. So now we have three files that we're interested in: the Contoso 10k.back, Contoso 10k_log.ldf, and an MDF file. So now we want to jump over to SSMS. If you don't have SSMS set up and configured with a local host configuration, then I would suggest for now YouTube how to set up SSMS. It's free if you download the developer version. The developer version will only let you work on local instances, I believe. I may have that wrong, but I'm fairly sure that the developer version is only for local instances. As soon as you start importing cloud or cloud instances, I think that's when you start to would incur costs. So, but you'll have to fact check me on that one. The best thing to do is to go to SQL Server Management Studio's website, look at the terms and conditions on there, but there is a developer edition. Download the developer edition and it will give you the full functionality of SSMS, and as long as you install a local instance, you won't incur any charges. So that's what I've got set up here. Let's just come back to here. So I've got SSMS open and I've got my files in my temp drive. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my local instance I'm going to right click on database and I'm going to click on restore database. So this should open, this dialog window should open. So what we want to do is we want to restore a database. Our device, we're going to select our backup devices, backup media. We're going to add, if we go to our C drive, our temp folder, we're going to select the contoso.10k.bak file in our C temp folder. Click OK on that. So we should see the file path has appeared in our backup media dialog window. Click OK. So the database has been selected, Contoso 10k. We can rename the file now, so the destination. So I'm going to call this temp Contoso 10k, just because I've already got a Contoso 10k database set up. And we can see here that the restore backup set to restore Contoso 10k full database backup is selected and ticked on here. Now one thing we do want to consider is the files. So I've gone to select a page. Oops. On the select a page pane on the left hand side, I've clicked on files, and it has found the two MDF and LDF files in the temp folder that we want to be importing as part of this database backup. So I want to restore those to the folder I have set up for my SQL database, which happens to be in a different folder on my D drive. So the folder, when you configure SSMS, it just so happens I've put it on my D drive because I've got more space on my D. You may have it on your C drive. Wherever you configure your database to be set up, the folders should appear here. So what we want to do, we want to flag the relocate all files to folder. So what this is going to do, it's going to move the Contoso MDF file and the LDF file to SSMS configuration folders, the folders that were set up as part of the application setup. So I've flagged relocate all files to folder. Going back to my general, just making sure everything's right in here. So that's our database.back file. The database is Contoso 10k. Database name, we're renaming it to temp Contoso. I'm going to click on OK, and a new dialog box has popped up. We can see at the top there's a progress bar that's finished at 100%, and we've got an information message saying that the database temp Contoso 10k has been restored successfully. Hurrah for us. I've clicked on OK. Just going to zoom out. And now, when I expand out this database's file structure, we can see we have temp Contoso 10k. I'm going to look inside. We have a series of tables, and there are some pre-configured views. Let's have a quick look in our customer table. Select the top 1000 rows. and we have lots of data we can play with to our heart's content in SSMS if you're doing SSMS training, or if you're doing some Power BI work, then you can pull this data into Power BI through the SQL Database get data functions. So whatever training you want to do, then this data is freely available. And I think that's everything for this video. I'm finding it's really useful, but it starts to get really interesting when you look at the data generator, which I definitely will be making a video on very soon. So there are various fluctuations in the sales year on year that you get with the standard database, but I think it'd be really interesting to play around with some of the configurations and kind of do some crazy spikes here and there, and spikes in information, and do some real kind of seasonal changes, that type of thing. So that would be really interesting. A couple of things you can see in the data here, just so you get an idea of what you can play around with. You've got latitudes, longitudes, so you could do some mapping exercises in Power BI. Got address information, lots of different customers. Let's have another look. Our orders. So 10k, we imported the 10k. Let's just double check. Oops. So there was 5,819 orders. Okay, so let's just check how many order rows there were. Okay then, so in the 10k file we got 5,819 order header lines, and then we got 13,915 order rows. So slightly above the 10k, but yeah, that's cool. So what else did we get as part of this? Let's just have a look at products. So we've got key field, product code, product names, manufacturers, brands, colours, yep, weights, unit costs, unit prices. Yeah, we could do some really interesting analysis on this. Store information, country of origin, states, the store names, the size of the stores. That'd be interesting. Interesting to see what the correlation of sales compared to sales month on month compared to the square meters of the store. That'd be an interesting one. When did it open? When did it close? Different statuses on there. So yeah, there's lots we can be playing with in here. Currency exchanges as well. There's an interesting one. Currency exchange rates. Yeah, that's interesting. Geolocations. Yeah, okay. And a custom date table as well. Yeah, not sure if I would use the custom date table here, just because I tend to build my own custom date tables in Power BI, but it's there if you want to use it. I've just realised I was on the wrong screen for a little bit then. I do apologise. So yeah, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. There's a lot of information in this in these Contoso databases that we can play around with. Yeah, very, very cool. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please drop a like on the video. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you've got any comments, please drop them down in the comments section. Anything you think I could improve on, or anything that if you've got any ideas for stuff that we could do with this database, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I will be generating. I'll be I will be making another video on the data generator side of this and playing around with the configuration files very, very soon. So I'm looking forward to that. So until the next time, see you soon. Bye bye.